you know that having a child is a miracle that is usually taken for granted? Actually, 1 out of 6 couples are struggling to have a child. Sometimes the cause of this failure occurs early in life and it goes unnoticed, only to realize when it is very late and the problem cannot be solved. Today, we shall discuss an important cause of infertility in male that is preventable if identified early in life, and this is undescended testis. So, we shall try to understand the science of undescended testis and how this problem can result into infertility and how it can be solved. But before we go into the details of today's topic, let me take you through a brief science of how the testes find themselves into the scrotum during the intrauterine life or when the baby is still in mother's womb. During the intrauterine life, when the baby is still in mother's womb, the testes or the testicles develop closer to the kidney. But as baby grows during intrauterine life, the testicles keep migrating downwards until just towards birth, the testes find themselves into the scrotum. And this is the natural history of how the testes develop and how they end up into the scrotum. Why are testes naturally located into the scrotum? Or why the testes that primarily develop from the abdomen have to settle down into the scrotum after birth? The reason is that the testes are the factory that manufactures sperms, and this factory requires an optimum temperature for it to function very well. Ideally, the temperature in the testes have to be 2 to 3 degrees below the normal temperature or below the body temperature. This is because the germ cells, which are specialized cells that manufacture sperms, are very sensitive to high temperature. In this way, the testes have to settle down in the scrotum throughout the life so that this optimum temperature can allow the testes to manufacture sperms. In undescended testes, what happens? We have already seen that the testes or the testicles grow into the abdomen closer to the kidney, and naturally they have to migrate through this long journey, and the long journey that will take them up to the scrotum. But in some cases, this process fails. And when it fails, after birth, the scrotum, the testes are absent into the scrotum. And this is a condition that is termed as undescended testes. Before I go any further, let me tell you an experience I got last week. A mother brought to me her 8-year-old twin child who was a male, and her concern was that there was a swelling in the groin area, which she had noticed while bathing her child. When she brought the child to our clinic, we listened to her concern and examined the child, only to find that at 8 years, the scrotum were empty. The testes were not in the scrotum. And this, we gave her a diagnosis of undescended testis. So this is a common, this is a condition that occurs in around 1 to 5% of the population of male children. And your child could be in that percentage. So that's why this topic is very important to you. So why the testes? We have already explained why the testes have to be into the scrotum. It's because those specialized cells that manufacture sperms must operate in the optimum temperature, which is 2 to 3 degrees below the body temperature. So what happens if the testes don't descend into the scrotum? These testes could be trapped into any of these areas. They could be into abdomen, or they could be just into this area which we call inguinal canal, or just below the inguinal canal, not settled into the scrotum. So these areas we have mentioned have higher temperature, which will ultimately affect the sperm production. So what is the solution? Okay, like we say, this problem can be diagnosed by a physical exam, and I would recommend, if you are a mother out there or a father with a male child, please examine the scrotum and be sure that this scrotum contains testes. Ideally, this is an examination that the midwives and doctors are supposed to carry out, but sometimes, for some reason, they miss this early in childhood. Why is it important for us to discover this problem early in childhood? The reason is that the effect of the temperature on the sperm production is a progressive process. The longer the testes remain undescended, the higher the chances that sperm production will be affected. And this is the reason why the pediatric urologist or the surgeons recommend that if this problem is identified early, it should be fixed between 6 months to 12 months, latest 18 months. In this way, the chances of sperm production are restored. If this problem is missed and it goes beyond that time, the ability of the testes to produce sperms reduces significantly, such that even if the problem is identified later, there might not be, the sperm production may not be sufficient to result into conception. So we are saying that in our summary that undescended testis is a common condition, and we are saying that the scrotum provides a cooler environment essential for sperm production, and that's why testis must reside into the scrotum, and internal body heat damages the sperm producing cell over time. So over time, if this problem is not solved, the temperatures will affect the germ cells, which are responsible for producing sperms, and this will subsequently result into infertility. So early correction in infancy protects future fertility. Therefore, once again, I call upon any mother, any father who has a male child to examine the scrotum and make sure that the testes are there. If you are in doubt, or if these testes are not are not felt, please visit the doctor. Your doctor will do an ultrasound scan which will confirm this problem, and this problem can easily be fixed, can easily be solved by the doctor. And the surgery that the doctor will do is called orchidopexy. It means that the doctor will locate the testis in any of this journey or in any of this area and bring it down and fix it into the scrotum. And this will really increase the chances of your child being able to grow up as an adult and be able to have a child. So, as I conclude, if you think that this has been very important and informative to you, please share with your colleagues, like and subscribe to our channel so that we can be able to continue to teach a bigger audience. Thank you for listening to me.